General, it's one of the issues that has jumped out. We were watching the state of politics in this country, what's going on. Some recent comments by Mike Huckabee this week talking about the president being born and raised in Kenya and madrasas, things along those lines. What jumped out at me, though, was this whole notion of his worldview. Huckabee saying, we grew up with Boy Scouts and the Rotary Club. What do you make of, as the son of immigrants, what do you make of this whole notion that somehow there is one American worldview, as opposed to the many different communities that we grow up in, where they're all not the same?
Well, there are many worldviews out there, or different views of the world is another way to put it. And in the course of my career, I have been privileged to meet people from all over the world, of all races and religions, of different political systems, social systems, different histories and cultures. And I think that as an American, I can be very, very proud of my country. And I think my country and my system is unique and the best. But not everybody shares that view with me. And so what I want to do is to show others what the American system is all about and why it's worked for us and so many other countries. But let me hear about your system. What are you doing? And for us not to be arrogant in our view of the rest of the world, but to realize it's a big world with lots of different attitudes and points of view out there. With respect to Mr. Huckabee, I just think he was having a bad morning. Mr. Huckabee is a decent individual, but I think he would acknowledge now that he misspoke. He has. But we've got to knock this nonsense off. Barack Hussein Obama, as I have said before, was born an American. He is an American. He's never been anything but an American. He was raised, for the most part, in, guess where? Hawaii, which is in America. It's a state. And so we've kind of got to get rid of all of this nonsense about where he was born and where he was raised. And there's no question in my mind that President Obama, just as every president before him, wishes the best for the American people and is a defender of American values. That's the oath he swore when he was inaugurated.
But beyond just the different views across the world,
this is just another way of attacking him politically by throwing up this chaff, as we sometimes call it in the military, to confuse people. We're trying to confuse people. And to some extent, it works. There's still people claim at a high percentage that he was not born in the United States, the birthers. But most of those birthers know better. They know he was born here. They're using this birther issue as another way to attack the president politically.
And what bothers me is beyond just different views around the world, even in this country. I'm African American. I grew up in Houston, Texas. And so my experience is different than that of somebody who might have grown up in Iowa or in California or in New England.
Or in the Bronx.
Absolutely. And so what happens is when you start hearing these phrases, what does Middle America think? Well, no, I think what does Southeast Florida think? Or what is the Midwest or Southwest, other parts of the country? And so when we start saying these kind of phrases, I think it's, in many ways, it's coded language.
It's coded language and is dangerous. And during the 2008 campaign, when I was making statements of support for President Obama, I made the point there is not a good America and a bad America. Mm-hmm. There is not, small town America is good and big town America is bad. Don't tell me that I live in a bad America because I was born in Harlem and raised in the South Bronx. I had a great upbringing. And I had parents who believed in America with all their
strong values.
Even strong values. Tell me about it. But they were immigrants. So I am of the immigrant tradition. I come from a rather modest background. I was a black kid living in a segregated country, and all that has now changed. And so any American is a good American if that American believes in the country, believes in himself, and is contributing to our society. And we shouldn't fractionate ourselves by north, south, east, west, rural, or urban.